of Barside Beer Reviews. I'm your host Tyler, and this week we'll be talking about two beers, Sol and Foster's. Barside.ca is a website dedicated to a poor man's beer review and a blog. We make as many bad mistakes drinking as many horrible beers as possible, so you don't have to. Like I said, this week we'll be talking to you about Sol. Sol is a 4.5% lager. It's brewed out of Mexico. It's a pretty old brewery. It's based out of Monterey. It was founded in 1890. Now, a bit of the history about it is that during the Mexican Revolution, in the late 1890s, that the family that owned the brewery had backed the wrong horse. Basically, they backed one of the losing sides of the revolution, and subsequently their assets were seized by the new ruling powers. And they fled across the border to Texas. Now, I made a bit of a joke about that while I was writing the review, saying that I'd started off the long-standing tradition of Mexicans fleeing across the border to Texas for work. And within an hour of publishing that, I had at least 80 emails. It was a joke, folks. Not really harmful in any way that I can see. I'm not going to really apologize for it because it was a freaking joke. So anyway, now on to Sol. Like I said, Sol is a 4.5% lager. If anybody's been keeping up with the website, I accidentally froze a bottle of this, or tried to freeze a bottle of this last week. And I've tried 3 times since then, and yet still a no-go. Original story is I bought some beer, put one in the freezer, and realized I had to go grocery shopping, so went grocery shopping, and came back. Forgot about the bottle of beer in the freezer. 7.5 hours later, or 6.5 hours later, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I realized, oh shit, I left a bottle of beer in the freezer. Went to pull the frozen bottle out, covered in ice, covered in frost, not frozen inside. So that begs 2 questions. 1, how much salt is in this beer for it not to freeze? Or, what the hell is wrong with Mexican water? Now, I asked a friend of mine who lived in Mexico for about a year as a exchange student at a charity mission down there, and basically she said, I'm not surprised. Again, worrying. Anyway, still a good beer. Didn't turn me off of it really. Very smooth, great with a lime wedge, good with Tex-Mex, good with spicy food, great with barbecues. Very smooth, as I've said. Not a bad taste, no aftertaste to it at all. They're coming out with a lime beer next year, or at least it will be available in Canada next year. It's been out in the States for about a year now, as far as I know, and I will be basically pitting it against this, which is the new beer against the old beer with a slice of lime in it. I did the same thing with Corona and a couple of other lime beers this year. Basically, Corona with a lime wedge is the benchmark for this industry. And with Bud Light Lime, Red Baron Light Lime, and Moosehead Lime, I basically pitted those 3 against Corona. Corona was still better, but Bud Light Lime was the winner of the 3 beers that I was basically testing. So the next beer on our list is going to be Foster's. So stay tuned. Okay, so the next beer up on the stack is Foster's. Foster's, also known as Australian for beer, as one of their slogans goes, has been one of the most publicized and is probably one of the most well-recognized brand names in the world. Basically, it was first exported to England by itself, but after that it has been exported worldwide. In Canada, it's brewed under license by Molson's. Most other countries in the world, it's brewed under license by Heineken. Like I said, it's one of the most recognized brands in the world. It's basically had endorsements for most major sporting events: baseball, soccer, football, rugby. It's had spots or references and skits on everything from the Crocodile Hunter, Crocodile Dundee, The Simpsons, which is probably one of the most memorable ones, where basically when Bart pisses off the Australian government, has to go to apologize. They're sitting in a pub, and Bart's playing around with a Swiss Army knife, and an Australian goes out and goes, "You call that a knife?" Pulls out a spoon. Bart goes, "That's not a knife." "Well, I see you play knifey, knifey, spoony, spoony." Now, I was going to do this entire review in an Australian accent, and I realized I can't do one. So the only thing I'm probably ever going to do in or any kind of accent is Irish, because it's the only one I could do, and I promised I would do it for St. Patrick's Day. So, beyond that, the beer. It's a 5% lager. It's not bad. Like I said, the label pretty much is known worldwide. It's a distinctive blue and gold. It's got a good pale color to it. It's got no aftertaste. It's a very clean and crisp taste. Quite refreshing. Goes good with seafood, Mexican foods. What else? And barbecue. Not bad. It's always been one of my favorite beers, so I've always been a bit worried about doing it, because one of those beers has also got such a big following. Regardless of what I say, somebody's going to be pissed off about how I did it. So, this is how I've done it. Live with it. So, hope you enjoy these podcasts, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.